What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video I am going to be talking about Manchester United's last game that we went and played, Colchester United, in the Carabao Cup in the quarter final, guys. So let's just get straight into today's video. So we made 8 changes from the last game against Chelsea. Talk about the starting 11. So we started with Romero, Young, Tuanzebe, Maguire, Shaw, Pereira, Matic, Greenwood, Mata, Rashford and Martial. Getting into the overall reaction now. United eased past Colchester. Fantastic performance all round. Took us time to get going, but we got there in the end. The players put in a real great shift in. Rashford, Greenwood and Martial can't stop scoring, but one goal wasn't on goal. Could Ollie get his first silverware as United's manager? Who knows? Through to the semi-finals now. Bring on City. Win done, clean sheet done, and we're through to the bloody semi-finals. Anyway, guys, let's just get straight into today's video. Now, firstly, before I get into the performance, now this is a game that I missed. I was away in Thailand and I just did not get to watch this game whatsoever. The game was on at a ridiculous time. It was on at about 3 AM in the morning. And as you might have saw on my Instagram, you would have thought I was watching it. I wasn't actually. I just did that as just to say, come on, Reds, let's win this. It's an easy game. I didn't watch all of this game. I only just got to manage to see the highlights. I watched the highlights and the highlights were really good. I just have to judge this game on the highlights really and what I saw on the highlights. And that's the reason why I didn't get to watch this game, because I was away in Thailand. It was on a ridiculous time, so I couldn't really watch the game as well. None of that now, because obviously I'm still now watching United's full matches, full games, and that's what we do as well on this channel, talk about from minute 1 to minute 90. In this video, it's just going to be me talking about the highlights and what I saw and what we could do better in really. But anyway, let's just get straight into today's video. What did I make of the performance? Now, I think as a whole, I think it was a very good performance. I think it was one of these performances where we just needed to have a fantastic result, get a good win, make sure you get past Colchester nice and easy. A nice game against Colchester at home. It should not be a problem against Colchester. Colchester, they're in League 2. We knew that they were coming to Old Trafford with a game plan and tactics, so we knew we had to be mentally, physically switched on at all times, and it was all about the mindset, the mentality as well in this game. But overall, on a whole, I think, we defended well for 90 minutes. We obviously got to see that with Tuanzebe and Maguire, the good partnership there. Hope we can see a little bit more of that of Tuanzebe and Maguire in the league as well. Tuanzebe has a few injuries here and there as he's still young and developing. Performance on the whole was fantastic. We knew that we had to beat someone like Colchester to get through to the semi-finals. The reason how Colchester got into this position in the quarter-final was because they beat Tottenham. They beat them on penalties. That's why we had that. Luckily, we had an easy draw at home. I couldn't be more happy with the performance on the whole. I thought defensively we defended really well. I think in the midfield-wise, who did we see in the midfield? We saw Matic, Pereira and Mata together. Matic was only just finding his feet, getting his match fitness back up, his fitness, start getting himself into these games a little bit more. Ease yourself in as well. Everyone was slagging off Matic, but I think when you're only just coming back from injury and you had a setback, you are going to play a bit dump, aren't you? You're not always going to be perfect from coming back from injury, because you're only just finding your feet again, trying to build up your match fitness, your fitness as well. Matic has been linked of moving away from Manchester United. We'll have to see what happens in the January transfer window. You can slag off Matic all you like, but come on, he's only just returning from an injury, a setback. This is what we can't afford to have now. We can't afford to have too many injuries in this period, because we've now obviously got McTominay, could be possibly out for 2 months. That's a massive blow for us, because now obviously Pogba's only just coming back from injury as well, so he's trying to nurse himself back into the team. So is Matic, trying to ease your players back into the team, build their match fitness again. The performance on the whole was fantastic. We knew that we had to win, and it's also important to get another clean sheet, because that's what we all need to also get better at as well, get more clean sheets as a team. I thought the first half performance, I think it was a really good performance. I think the first half we put in some really great balls into Rashford, Martial, Greenwood, but it's just a shame that Rashford, 2 to 3 great chances in front of goal that he should have really put away. That sort of let us down in the first half. And I think if Rashford took those chances and put them away, that should have been easily 6-0 to us. It's just gutting, because Rashford just couldn't find his end product, and that's all he needed really, the end product. And then in the second half, we just came out, we did what we needed to do. We were bright, sharp, quick movement, play with aggression, we're on the front foot, created a load of chances, and we just had to make sure we made them count, and we had to make sure that we were clinical in front of goal. We had to make sure we took our chances. We had to make sure we scored on our chances. We put our chances away, thankfully. It's just all about grinding, seeing out a very good result. I thought we were a unit. We defended really well, like I said. I couldn't be more happy with the defending, and hope we can see more of that Maguire-Tuanzebe partnership as well in the Premier League as well. And then he brought in a few players here and there to get the match fitness up. It's good to see we've got another clean sheet. Obviously that's something that we need to work on a little bit more in the Premier League. But performance on a whole was fantastic. We were a unit. We obviously did what we needed to do. We were bright, sharp, movement was quick, the intensity was quick, the tempo was quick, the transition from defence to attack was quick. Against these teams like Colchester, you've got to punish them. We knew that Colchester were coming to Old Trafford with nothing to lose. It was their first away trip to Old Trafford as well, so we knew that we had to really give them a tough time. And that proved it, that because they're in League Two and we're in the Premier League and we're playing in one of the biggest leagues as well. We knew that we mentally had to be on our A game, and we just couldn't afford to make a slip up, couldn't afford to make too many mistakes against them. Colchester though, a fair few chances on goal, but not too many as us, and that clearly sees that in the stats as well. So performance on the whole was fantastic. Couldn't be more happy with the players. It's just all about getting a win, getting a clean sheet and getting through to the next round. And I said in my first video, I want us to do well. I want us to get a cup or something like that. Because if we can get a cup, I'll be over the moon, because then we're showing some improvement in the team. It's good to see that, you know, we're always rotating that squad, because then players get given a chance all the time. It's just all about performing in and out every week. We've got to just make sure we put these teams to bed, like the likes of Colchester and all these lower teams, and at least we're not struggling with those type of teams really. I think in these type of games like in Colchester's, Rochdale's and all them lot, it's just all about finding the win, getting the clean sheet and moving on into the next round really. But like I said, I want us to do well in this Carabao Cup. We've got unfortunate over the last couple of years in this. The last time we won it was when Jose Mourinho won it. I think that was in 2017, 2016. I think we're due another trophy, to be fair. I think we've just got to prove that in the performances, the results. We put in another good performance overall. Can't be any happier with the players really. Performance was fantastic. Got to push on now. Got a big draw against Man City now. We knew that we were going to have someone tough. We knew we weren't getting away with it. We just got to step up on our game now against Man City. Do what we did first time round, and let's put City to bed, because personally I don't think City are having a great season. Work in progress, round 2 of Man City, and let's bring it on. What was the difference from the first half to the second half? I think in the first half Rashford just couldn't find his end product. Simple as really. And then second half, we were brilliant in our build-up play. Even the first half, we were brilliant in our build-up play. But just Rashford just couldn't finish his dinner off, couldn't find his end product. And then in the second half, we just had to remind ourselves, just take your chances, be more clinical in front of goal, on scoring your chances. And that's what we need to do more, because we had about 26 shots on goal and we only had 6 on target. And for me, that's not great. That's not the best. We need to sort of improve that, and then we sort of need to be a lot more clinical in front of goal, and we need to take more of our chances as well. I think in the second half we just took our chances. We had to make sure we had to score in our chances. First half we couldn't do that. Rashford just couldn't find his shooting boots, couldn't find the end product, and then second half we just had to do what we needed to do in the first half. Make sure you take your chances, be more clinical in front of goal and score on your chances. I thought in the second half, I think we were a lot more quicker, a lot more sharper in our build-up play. Movement was fantastic, transition was quick. I thought we played better from the second half to the first half really. I think in the first half, a little bit slow in the play, tried to just control that first half, make sure that Colchester just didn't find the breakthrough. We could have probably done a little bit more better in that first half, but in the second half we were a lot more better. We punish Colchester, and that's what we do as a Premier League side. You've got to go and punish these teams like the likes of Colchester, Rochdale's and Bolton's and stuff like that. You've got to punish them in the second half, and that's what you get at the end of the day. I think the difference was Rashford found his shooting boots, he found his end product, and we knew that the creativity was there. We knew that the quality in front of goal was there. We just needed that end product, and that was it. And we just had to take our chances, score on our chances, and everything was there in the second half. Shebang. Boom, everything was there. Couldn't be more happier. And I thought in the second half we were a lot more better from the first half as well. I thought that was the real difference really from the first half to the second half. Could Ollie get his first silverware as United's manager? Look, we don't want to get too carried away that we've beaten Colchester in League Two, you know. I think we've just got to carry on what we're doing now. We've got a big draw against Man City. I mean, silverware's up for grabs in this cup as well, League Cup as well. It's there in the distance. We've got 2 legs against Man City, but it's going to be tough. If we can get past Man City, I'm sure we've got an opportunity of silverware. And I think we just got to make sure we take it more seriously. And it's all about who turns up, who wants it more. And if Ollie wants it more, he'll be chasing down for that silverware. He knows that United need to win trophies. If Ollie wants to win silverware, he knows that this is one great opportunity. I think we've just got to do what we've got to do against Man City. Do what we did the first time round and just do it at home first. Go to them. Let's just put City to bed, you know. Silverware's up for grabs. You don't want to say, oh, we've beaten Colchester. Don't get too carried away now. We've got to make sure that we still keep our heads up, keep our chins up, because we've still got a semi-final. We've still got a big draw, so we've got to make sure we keep our heads up, keep our chins up. Don't get too carried away now. We've just got to do what we do against Man City, and let's get these out of the way, and then look forward to a good final at Wembley Stadium, really. It'd be great if Ollie can get some silverware, and he'll be one happy man if we can get silverware as well. That's what we want to do at Manchester United, get more trophies as well. And this is why we sign players, because they want to win trophies at Manchester United. Who was my man of the match? I thought there was some brilliant play from the likes of Greenwood, Martial, Rashford. They all played brilliantly well. I think I just have to give it all them three. The strikers, they all pretty much scored. One was an own goal, but it still came off Greenwood. All 3 strikers have to be my man of the match, to be fair. How do we beat Man City? I think we've just got to make sure we're at home first, which is perfect, brilliant to start off, really. We're at home in front of our home fans. Most of the fans will be there at that game watching on. I think, how do we beat City? I think we've just got to make sure we come out quick. We've got to make sure we get on the front foot, create chances. The transition from defence to attack's got to be quick. Make sure we get on the front foot. Make sure we're aggressive. Make sure we have the fluidity and the urgency in our play. Make sure we've got high intensity, high tempo in our play. Create chances. Be clinical in front of goal. Get the quality in front of goal. Take your chances. Score on your chances. Got to make sure that we have a quick start, a bright start. The movement's got to be quick. And I mean, if we do one sloppy mistake, they're going to capitalise. And it's going to be a goal if we don't capitalise against Man City. This is where you cannot be asleep against Man City, because if we're asleep, I mean, even a split second against Man City, they'll capitalise. And that's why you've got to be mentally, physically on it. I think in Man City, you've got to try and outsmart them. You've got to be more intelligent in your play, outclass them. I think it's just important that we get off with a quick start, bright start, get on the front foot, create chances, make sure we've got urgency, fluidity in our play. Make sure the transition from defence to attack is quick. Make sure we're playing with high intensity, high tempo. Create chances, put our chances away, scoring our chances, and let's just try and beat City. That's how you beat City. You've got to make sure you have a quick start. It's always crucial to get that first goal, and obviously Man City are away from home, so if they get the away goal, we've got to make sure that when we go away, we've got to make sure we go and score at the Etihad, because then things are a lot more harder than for City to go through into the final. I mean, that's how you beat City. You've just got to make sure you get on the front foot and make sure you're aggressive in the play, and if we switch off for one split second, they're going to capitalise. And it's a mentality thing with Man City as well, so we've got to be mentally switched on at all times, be physically prepared for this one, and I'm sure we'll come in with a great game plan, and we've got to try and outsmart them. We've got to be intelligent in our play, and we've got to try and outsmart them, outclass them once again. Let's do round 2 on Man City once again. City are not even great this season, you know, they've not been the best, they're not even world champions. Man City is just another team for me. We can beat City, we've beaten them once, let's beat them again. City not even great, they don't even have Mikel Arteta there now as well. We've just got to make sure we're on our A game from start to finish. From minute 1 from minute 90, we've got to be on it, and if we're not on it, these little bloody spankers, they'll do us if we're not mentally switched on at all times. So that's how you beat City, really. Anyway, getting into the goals now. First goal, Romero throws the ball out to Matic. Matic puts a great ball to Rashford. Rashford runs, Rashford cuts inside the box, sets himself up and shoots and puts United in a lead for 1-0. Second goal, Pereira passed it to Young. Young puts the ball through to Greenwood. Greenwood puts in a sensational cross, but the Colchester defender was under pressure by Rashford, and the Colchester defender puts it in his own net for 2-0. Third goal, Young passed it to Matic. Matic passed it to Mata. Mata passed it to Pereira. Pereira passed it to Greenwood. Greenwood passed it to Mata. Mata lifted in a great ball to Rashford. Rashford squares it for Martial, and Martial slots it in for 3-0. Now, the stats are not all there in the Carabao Cup, unfortunately, but getting into the stats now, possession-wise for Manchester United, it was 74%, and for Colchester, it was 26%. Goals for Manchester United, we scored 3, and Colchester scored none. Total shots for Man United, we had 26 shots, and for Colchester, they only had 5 shots. Shots on target for United, we had 6 on target. It's not great, to be fair. Colchester only had 2 on target. Total passes for Man United, it was 813 passes. And for Colchester, it was 287. Pass accuracy for Man United, it was 91%, and for Colchester, it was 76%. Getting into the substitutions now, Shaw went off for Williams. Talk about Shaw's performance. Underused in the first half and came off early in the second half. On another night, he built up his fitness. Rashford went off for Lingard. Talk about Rashford's performance. Fluff, some excellent chances before the interval, but recovered to score one, forcing another and assist the third. Twanzebe went off for Ghana. Talk about Twanzebe's performance. Had a very little to do amid Colchester's ultra defence approach and came off early in the second half. Went straight down the tunnel. Next up, we've got Man City at home in the semi-final. I'm quite frankly looking forward to playing Man City. We knew that we weren't going to get an easy draw, and we knew we were going to face either the likes of Man City, Leicester or Villa. And in the end, we drew to City, and we can't really much do about it. At the end of the day, we've beaten City once. Let's go and beat them again. We've not beaten them at home yet. They've got to come to us in the Premier League. In this game, we're just got to make sure we're mentally, physically switched on at all times. I think the way we're going to beat them is you've got to make sure we come out quick, get on the front foot. You've got to play aggressive. You've got to make sure you press onto them. When they're on the attack, we've got to make sure we defend properly. We've got to make sure we're a unit. We've got to make sure we have men behind the ball. We've got to keep our shape. We've got to be organised at all times. And when they're on the attack, defend properly. You've got to defend properly. Because if we make one sloppy mistake, they're going to capitalise. You cannot switch off for 0.1 of a second. If you are switched off for 1 point of a second, they'll capitalise on that mistake and they'll go and score on it. So you're going to be mentally, physically switched on at all times. And I think the way we're going to beat them is make sure you come out quick, have a bright start to the game, get on the front foot, play aggressive, play a free throw-in game, create chances, be clinical in front of goal, make sure you're scoring on your chances, because that's going to be important as well. It's going to be important to have that quick start. You know, we need quick movement, we need to be quick and sharp on the ball. We just got to make sure we're bright, sharp. We've got to make sure we go in the game with the right mentality, the right mindset. Don't do a slip up, because if we do a slip up, they'll capitalise and they'll do you over for it. Honestly, they will. When things are not going right for Man City, I mean, especially in the Premier League, it's not going well for them. In the League Cup, they're sort of doing well at the minute, and we want to try and put that run for them to a stop now. City are not even playing their best football. For me, I reckon City are not playing the best. We're the current ones that are best in Manchester. Manchester is red. We just got to make sure we control that game, dominate that game, and just give City a hard time. You don't want to let City into the game. If you let City into the game, you'll go, oh shit, we've got to score, we've got to score, we've got to score. This time now, it goes down to aggregate. We've got to make sure that they do not get the away goal. If they get the away goal, we've got to work even harder to get that other goal. We've got to be mentally, physically switched on at all times. The way we're going to beat them is you've got to have a bright start, got to get on the front foot, create chances, be aggressive. We need high intensity, high tempo. Just feed the ball out wide. We've got pace in the team. Bring energy to the team. And let's go and beat Man City. I think we're capable of beating Man City. They're nowhere near good enough for me. And I think Man City, they know that they're away first. They'll want to get the away goal. So that's why we're going to be defensively a rock solid. We've got to be a unit. We've got to defend when we've got to defend when they're on the attack. And just do not afford to make a mistake. We've got to do the exact same thing how we beat them at the Etihad. And if we can do that, we can beat Man City, honestly. We're just got to do what we did the first time round, and we've got to come in with the right game plan, the right tactics, prepare well for this game, mentally, physically, go in the right mindset, the right mentality, and I'm sure we can beat Man City. You know, City are not playing the greatest football. Let's just go and beat Man City. They've got nothing to lose, we've got nothing to lose, and I think it's all about let the best team win. Whoever wants it more, and whoever wants it more wants that silverware. I think we're capable of beating Man City, the space of the two legs. We've got nothing to lose, they've got nothing to lose. Let's go for it. We've got nothing to lose at the end of the day, because it's the Carabao Cup. Got to make sure we have a quick start, bright start to the game, because if we don't have that, we're in for a long game as well at Old Trafford. But the players to look out for is Gundogan, Rodri, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, David Silva, Foden. He's starting to get in the team more a little bit now. Sterling, Jesus, Aguero and Mahrez. Hope you guys have enjoyed another video. Be sure to leave a like. Subscribe to my channel if you are new. See you guys in the video in the next couple of days. And peace.